And hello everyone, I think we are now actually live. Let's just check. Yes, we are currently live. Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday stream. I apologise if you can hear the fan in the background, but it is about 30 odd degrees here at the moment, probably high 20s, low 30s, so yeah, it's really not cool at all. So I have to have the fan on, otherwise I'm going to overheat. But hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing okay today. That is definitely working fine, I believe. Yep. Good. So who do we have in chat? I know that Herman is here, Sunlight is here. I think a couple of you others are also here. We're a bit short today. That's a bit disappointing, but we'll go with as many as we get. Welcome to Sanctuary, pre-flattened, obviously. Both down here and up there, ready for constructing. Now, I want to do something a little... Don't want to do like a full-on park today. The idea is going to be that we're going to just construct some exhibits, do some particular biomes, do some particular dinosaurs that people want, and kind of build a park around, you know, those. And also play around with all of the new scenery items that we got. No, there is not a boat arrival mod yet. I don't think there will be one. We've got a... that would require a lot of work to get to function. But I think, first of all, we'll make our very cool arrival area. And I am loving these new the new decorations. I think they are so cool. Hello, French Toast and Dino Army is here. God. Okay, I think I put the audio up a little too loud. There we go. Forgot how loud they all were. Right, so let's make a little bit of an entranceway first, I think. Since in the thumbnail I did go on about, you know, making new decorations, so I suppose we ought to do something with them first. Quite like the idea of this guy being surrounded by some water, perhaps. He's actually floating on the water. That's that's obviously we need to get rid of that. That's a little strange. That's a little less strange. There we go. I'll stick a few bushes in the front just to cover some of the plinth. There we go. Jesus Rex. What's your opinion on Carnosaurus? I don't like how it was built to look in JWE 1. It was way too chunky. In fact, I think you could say that about quite a lot of the dinosaurs. They were desperately in need of the Atkins diet, I think. There we are, we have our little entranceway. Let's put in, let's change the... That's just something a little deserty. I'd love this park to be a zoo, maybe with savanna biome and a lot of herbivores. Also safety pit thingies. Safety pit thingies, righto. So we want some realistically designed enclosures. I can do that. But I think we've already had. So Dino has already given us our first enclosure. So Carnotaurus with grassland. So that we can definitely get started on. I think we'll put, since Carno is a carnivore, we'll put him in this square here. There we go. Now, being a carnivore, we'll give Toro his a double layer fence, because that's exactly what they would do for safety, and we'll give him strong electric fencing. Like so. I'm aware of my irrational love of Carnotaurus as French toast. It's not irrational. It's one of those really cool looking dinosaurs. Don't forget, folks, to please like the stream as much as you can. That really does help with the algorithm. So do like, it just does help. So grassland for Carnotaurus. So let's go through some basics of enclosure building, and I think these basics of enclosure building you can apply to Jurassic World Evolution 2 as well. So because I don't think the enclosure building method is going to change too much. So you can apply the same sort of ideas. So the first thing I always start with enclosures is do the landscaping. And you don't want the enclosure to be flat. Good enclosures are not flat. It's not only makes your enclosures look a bit more interesting, but simply for animal health, you wouldn't want the enclosure to be totally flat either. So we have a nice bit of a raised back of the paddock there. It's not too tall, so whoops, not too tall, which is all right if you're a park guest. You can easily get up there as a park guest. I've seen far worse ramps like that at places like Alton Towers and stuff. So that works perfectly alright. Safety pit thingies and double fencing is good, says Herman. Yes, it is. Right, so we'll put some water at the bottom of the enclosure here. Go for something, it's relatively simple. Dino said he wanted grassland. So grassland, you want very few trees, mostly. Um, let's think about what types of trees we get for grassland. Something like European trees. You're pretty fine to go with. Don't want too many, because too many will detract from the fact that this is supposed to be a grassland. Right. Let's go for some simple rocks that we don't have to mess around too much with. Just to give us a little bit more variety in the enclosure. We'll put a couple up and down here as well. That's good. Right, so this ridge, we want to give it a bit of definition, just with some light stone. Not too much, just enough to make it look scuffed. Maybe a little shale, actually, instead. Yeah, I always thought that shale looks just better when doing scuffed patches. There we go. Benches and bushes, etc. are good to a realistic park. They are. So obviously we want to think about using decorations and making some nice guest areas as well. Yeah, I love the fence design. It's small in front, and then the electric fence is just realistic and better than a high voltage fence. Guests can become tasers on full charge. Exactly. Like, you'd never have an electric fence that a guest could literally get right up close to. It's just incredibly unrealistic to have really dangerous electric fences available for the general public to get close to. We'll, we got some rain coming down. So put vegetate in the trees and the rocks. And I think that'll do. We're not going to use too many bushes. Grassland will use the... I'll actually stick with the grassland brush because of the ferns. Not many flowers. Put a little bit of the crag brush over the top because we can have some of those dirty looking bushes around. Yeah, that looks alright. Right, we'll put the feeding station actually down here. No. No, actually, it makes sense we'd put the feeding station up here. Yeah. So we'll put the feeding station up here. We'll do something a bit unique with the feeding station. We'll chuck in one of these trucks. And chuck in... That one might be a bit big. Yeah, that one is a little large. Actually, a couple of... just a broken tree there. And... so, where's the little Triassic trees? There we go. We're hiding the fact that it's a feeding station, and you know, just gives the paddock a little bit of uniqueness to it. Quite like the idea of this bit down here being shaded. If we can find a place where the rocks can sit. Let's see, that is passing. Stick one there, and one there. And then if we put in some rocks at the back. Like thus. So the Carnos have a nice little bit of shade, which again, just part of dinosaur not enrichment, dinosaur sort of care. You know, you want to give them somewhere in the shade that they can sit and lay down under and be safe and also be cool. Toast will be eating from a car, yeah. Right, so Carnotaurus. And where's my dinosaur production facility? It's down here, isn't it? There we are. Carnos. Dino Army, if you're still obviously watching the stream, do you want to go with the new, the realistic remodel version of Carno, or the bog standard Jurassic World Evolution version? Since we have a choice of two. Or is Dino Army not currently in stream, so he can't answer the question? So, I wish it told you. We'll go with, since Stabster says he wants to get the new Carno, we'll go with the new one, and we'll have two. We'll go with one with the standard base skin of the new Carno, and we'll go one with the F type. Yeah, we'll go with F, since that's got green in it, so... Also, I couldn't get the no restraints in Ultimate Mixed Eras to work. Stabster? Can I just... You have checked to make sure it's not working, right? Because although it will tell you that you can't build there, you can. So the warning that you can't build still applies. Just want to make sure you're not falling for that, because Evo fell for the same problem. Right, let's get these Carnos released. Something to note, Stabster, also is that you can only do non-clipping with buildings. Only works in Sandbox. It doesn't work in other game modes. Anyway, there's Carno number 1. Let's have a look at Carno number 2. Not really. Oh, okay. Not sure, Stabster. You might have... I mean, I would suggest it might be an idea to delete the old Ultimate Mixed Eras mod, because you might have old files that might be interfering. The only other thing I could suggest is you're not using... So, if you're using Ultimate Mixed Eras, you don't need to Might be because I installed the files with the pre-injected terrain tools. I'm using the same one. I'm using the pre-injected ones as well. So I'm not sure. It might just be an idea to check that you've installed it correctly. That's all I'm going to suggest. Right, one Carno is tranked. Because it does work. It's
acknowledging asset collection request.
I mean, it might be if you're trying to use it with something else, maybe the overhaul, the full-on overhaul. I don't know. I'll talk to you about it later on Discord. See if I can give you a hand. Carno named Bacon. We will call one of them Bacon.
Asset transportation in progress.
So these guys kind of need some sort of viewing gallery for the guests. So while we're transporting those over, let's get on with that. I think we could have a viewing area over here, I think. Or do we have one over here? Let's have one on this side. And then we can make this whole area higher than the rest of the park. Ooh. So, bacon for Carno number 1, and Carno number 2, are we just going to call it toast? So we got toast and bacon, which sounds like quite a good combination. I think that.
Asset transportation complete.
Let's do a little bit of
Transportation complete.
fancy paving. Don't you just love the asymmetry of the viewing tower? It never ceases to annoy me. We'll put the my dark metallic path underneath. Ah, that one messed up. Okay, it's really not perfect. That's... No. No, no, no. Not on my watch. I do hope that that in Jurassic World Evolution 2 that the path doesn't have so many texture clipping problems. It's really quite annoying. Right, so we have this guy looks like a toast, I think. So we have toast, and this guy is... Ooh, what's going on with that tail? This guy looks like bacon to me, so... Toast and bacon in a grassland exhibit. Done. And we'll line this with a few trees. and then just cover the rest with the grassland. So, Dino Army obviously gave us that suggestion, so who wants to give the next dinosaur and next enclosure? Biome type. Yeah, Herman's right, we need to stick a few benches in and stuff. Just put a few rocks in, just to... Need a couple of bushes as well. Herman suggested benches. Where do you want the benches, Herman? Desert for a Spinosaurus, says Dracolite. We've had a carnivore, so it'd probably be good to have a herbivore. Actually, I like the idea of having. Let's keep using those new scenery items. I like the idea of just putting like a few. Having a bit of a little seating area here. Just a little one, not too much. And maybe some sort of maybe a drinks machine and a Pringles machine. I'm sure other snacks are available. Yeah, just a little bit of a seating area there for some folks. How about a rocky coastline kind of exhibit with iguanodons, and you could have a viewing gallery inside it as a lighthouse? Hmm. I like that idea, Stabster. It means we'd have to go and I think this perhaps down here, or actually down here is probably going to be. Just trying to think about where we're going to have our monorail, because obviously if we're coming down here, we're going to have the monorail. So let's throw in a mock monorail tunnel. I reckon I'll have it coming out there. And we'll have the tunnel say, let's see, it's coming. We'll have the there. We want this to be not too far along. We want to give the iguanodons plenty of space. And we'll turn this one down here into their rocky coastline. We're going to need to make sure we've got quite a lot of smoothing going on. Underwater Moser exhibit. We can certainly have a go at something like that. Okay, so we actually do have water under there, which which is what we need for our iguanodons. We need to smoothen out this so it looks a little less weird. That might be too deep, actually. They might get completely swallowed up there. Let's... Cause they're not the tallest of dinosaurs, are they? So let's bring this up a bit. Otherwise, our poor iguanodon will drown. We don't really want that. And then the dinosaur protection group gets involved, and then we have to put up with Claire Deering being in the park, and then someone accidentally pushes her into the Carnotaurus enclosure, and then there's lots of forms to fill in. Prize giveaways to give out, you know. Thank you for killing Claire Deering. Joke, obviously. I'd never condone pushing Claire Deering into the Carnotaurus enclosure. Our Carnotaurus need a proper diet, and Claire Deering is just not good for their digestive systems, I don't think. Why is that? That doesn't look straight. That's not straight. We'll have this go sort of around the back there. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that looks symmetrical. We've got a square in the park. Now we need to do is get Evo to pop in. Do I have the glass aviary? I do not have anything that changes the aviary, no. Mostly because I don't really use the aviary enough. So it doesn't really... I don't really mind if it has this sort of the grid kind of pattern. So, I have a viewing gallery. Yeah, Stabster, I kind of agree. I think it looks nice enough as it is. So. Ooh. Now we'll have that as the... We'll make some sort of artificial sort of breakwater here. Look at that! Almost looks as good as Prehistoric Kingdom. There. Like it. We'll stick something else similar over here. There we go, that'll do. Right, we need obviously the invisible fencing will extend from invisible fencing. So, obviously the tall cliffs on either side give plenty of methods to keep the iguanodons in, so we wouldn't, it makes no sense for us to have actual fencing at the back row, so we can just invisi fence it. We'll leave a bit of a gap so we can put in some trees. In there and in there. Just to help it look a little less dull. Now then! Those lines work on the outside terrain, yet we can't replicate it. True. Yes, very true. Right, so rocky coastline. So I suppose we're going to need to have... Actually, first, let's put in... So, Stabster's suggestion was to have a lighthouse. Now, lighthouses are usually kept out to sea, so... it looks a bit bizarre, doesn't it? It's like a floating thing. But if we're gonna have a lighthouse, we need a little bit of an island, sort of out to sea. That's just a little too low. There we go. That's that I think should be big enough. We need to make it look a bit more like a rock out sea. That's a little better. Or it could be a point still connected to the land. I think we'll stick with the rock idea, since that's what we started with so far. Obviously, we're going to have a big old warning that this guy is not connected to anything, but oh well. I don't think there's any other object that we could use instead, is there? Actually, I believe these guys have lights on, don't they? So instead of a lighthouse, you could go with something more like a beacon, because they've got lights on. And we wouldn't get an annoying warning that it's not connected to land. So let's go with one of these. Actually, what do these look like? Yeah, let's go with that one, because then we can like act like the rest of that structure is a sort of... little bit of a structure there. Give this guy some shale and rock, so it looks a bit wind-beaten. We'll put in some additional just around. No, not that one. Maybe a couple of smaller little ones. Let's get rid of that yellow there. Yeah, I think that looks alright as a sort of mock lighthouse. This rock looks a little bizarre on its own there, so let's just put a... There we go. Could also connect to the helipad. Sure, sure. Herding diplodocus. There's lots of ideas coming up. Right, we actually need to get the iguanodon ready, don't we? What iguanodon skins would you like to see, Stabster? They're all basic. I haven't changed the iguanodon, so... Jungle and steppe. Please stand by. Name one of them Iggy. Okay, Herman, we'll have an iguanodon called Iggy. True, actually. I do like the jungle and steppe ones as myself. I really like this burnt... This burnt terracotta is nice. And Iggy it is. Yeah, this one reminds me so heavily of the Walking with Dinosaurs iguanodon. At least the European one. Right. It's tipping it down with rain. Let's get their enclosure sorted out, however. So we need a couple of feeders. We'll hide one of these feeders in some, like, just some bushes to make it look like we've got just a little bit of... Ooh, that's way too much. So the crackbrush works really well for sort of the dry grasses and bushes that you do get growing on some beaches. It works really well for that. What if you rotated the electrical thing lighthouse multiple times and made a circle of the towers? That might work, actually. Let's get this enclosure finished for the iguanodon first, and then we'll have a go at doing that. This one will hide in a bit more of a foliage heavy sort of thing, maybe a few logs and Palm tree. There we go. Right, we'll so for rocks along the coastline, stick to the smooth topped low ones, because it makes sense with erosion that you only get really smooth rocks there. There we go. We'll put some dead trees and stuff sort of washed up along here, just for looks. Like it. Like so. Monkey puzzles are really not. So we'll do some sort of do like a. We'll do like a little rock formation here with an arch. Herman says Diplodocus gentle giant enclosure with savanna biome tour for following the direction of the herds. Yeah, we could try that out. We need to have a carnivore next. I think someone suggested a desert enclosure for Spinosaurus, so we'll go with that. Just stick some vegetation in here. There you go, just a bit of a rock formation just to lighten things up a bit. We'll do some more landscaping. Just with the bushes brush. We'll do a little bit over here as well. And we'll do some scuffs of rock. Just to make it look like the sand has been trodden around. There we go. One rocky sort of coastline. I think we could probably put more rocks in it, but let's not get too distracted by rocks. Right, we need to get Iggy and Co.
Request acknowledged.
Knocked out.
Understood.
We'll send the RAF to go do it. Naturally. Yes, I know what you mean. Right, while we're waiting for those iguanodons to get knocked unconscious, let's actually have a look at trying to get, so I need to grab the transformer tower, don't I? And then, so the idea was to make multiples to make it look round. So I'll be honest, not really sure on that. I kind of think it looks better with... I don't know, actually. I think that looks okay with 3 of them together. So we'll stick to 3. I think any more than that would be a bit excessive. Fletcher turns on his face cam to reveal he's secretly a baryonyx that talks with a British accent. And a monocle, top hat, and a cup of tea. You're kind of missing a few things there. I love that idea. And secretly, I've been a secret baryonyx all along. Right, let's do a little bit of guest structures, because otherwise people are going to start complaining. So combining the restaurant and the bar works really naturally. We use that for a bit of decoration. Oh, I forgot I haven't got. I don't run with the sort of instant construction Wii mod thing on, just simply because some of the anti-cheat software that War Thunder runs can sometimes catch it, and I don't particularly want to
Select the asset.
lose all my War Thunder, so.
Asset to be collected.
5 Iguanodon might be a bit small for this enclosure, so I might double up. But we'll start with 10 at
En
least,
route to collect the asset.
just to make sure the enclosure actually works.
Transporting asset.
Right, bar. So you stick the bar sort of there.
Assets in the air. Commencing asset transit. Asset being transported.
Run that along the back. Have that there. Damn, it's just a bit small.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's always happy hour at our new bar.
Please drink responsibly. There we go, and it actually looks... They do kind of go quite well together, I think. So... I love the idea that we should definitely have out the front of this bar. We definitely need a few... tables and things. There we go. Yeah, I like how
Completed.
that looks. Just a bit more.
Delivery complete.
This makes it look like a more substantial sort of
Asset has been transported.
building going on there.
Confirming asset delivery.
And then if we just
Asset has been delivered.
fence off the back area so it doesn't look so bizarre being in the back there, open to the general public. And you just, I mean, you could even go one step further. That might be a bit big. That's a bit large. That's a bit. That's a bit more workable, I think. Just... is it workable? I don't know. Now think about that. Hello, Karate Gamer Rex. Oh, the Spinosaurus skeleton. Right, we can have the Spinosaurus skeleton in. Let's have that down here in our little decorative bit. I am using mods, quite a lot of them today. um, we are doing a very heavy mod playthrough or mod run park. As much as like I was really surprised at how quickly Evo got back into vanilla Jurassic World yet the other day. Because I can barely stand playing this game with the campaign restrictions on, let alone without mods. So I tip my hat to Eva and her skill at suffering without mods. But for me, I don't think I will be ever going back to vanilla. So if only because I've paid my penance, as it were. I think that looks alright. Ah, no worries, Crafty Gamer. Thank you for popping in. See you later on. Can we put some sand down here so it looks a bit... Yeah, there we go. What do we think, folks? I think that works. There's a little bit of a decorative side piece there. Nice. We got our little thing, little restaurant. Throw in a... we could do with throwing in a bathroom somewhere at some point. Right, how is the... Where's the iguanodons? There they are. How are we looking down here? Yep, none of them have escaped. The water is not too deep for you, is it? Yeah, just about. I just about got that level correct. It's just about works, I think. Don't go clipping through one another. It's just strange. Right, so, Spinosaurus. Someone suggested Spinosaurus in a desert enclosure. Now, Spino is definitely more dangerous than Carnotaurus, so we need to give it a proper style, realistic enclosure. So I think we'll go with that one up here. So, first thing, we'll put in the perimeter fence. It's not 100% neat, but it'll do. Let's just finish leveling out this. Otherwise it's going to annoy it. See you later, Herman. Name the Spinosaurus soup. Okay. We've got a Spinosaurus called Soup. Possibly something on the menu, maybe, at the restaurant. Maybe have the Spinosaurus skeleton near... We can have another one near the Spinosaurus paddock, for sure. Now, first thing is a ditch. No, wrong one. That looks to be the right sort of height. Yep. So this is our protective ditch. You tend to see it more, I think, American and European zoos now. I can't remember the last time I actually went to a British zoo and saw something like a perimeter ditch. Usually the British zoos just rely on a fence, and usually for dangerous animals it will be a double layer fence. There we go. Right, we need to smooth up this path so it doesn't look bizarre when people actually walk on it. Now again, I have to say it's been a very long time since I've ever been to a British zoo. I don't think I've gone to one now for quite some years. And that's not personal choice, it's just zoos are quite expensive to get into in this country, at least. Mostly because they don't get very much help from the government, and COVID has really hit them badly. So I can't imagine zoos getting any cheaper any soon, or any time soon, I should say. So, which is sad because a lot of a lot of British zoos, they do a lot of charity work and a great deal of scientific work as well, conservation. So it's quite sad that the government doesn't really give them the support that they need. And that's because our government is too busy giving away post-Brexit trade deals which don't really help the country. But that's Boris Johnson. Yes, and a Spinosaurus skeleton for scale. We'll have some sort of seating area, guest area, with like the Spinosaurus and some of the other bits, so we have like a mock sort of education area. I hope that's something that Jurassic World Evolution 2 does more of, since they're going for a focus on conservation. Like, being able to tell guests about the creature is kind of, I think, quite important, so... There we go. So, this is just another little enclosure trick. So, make the inside of the enclosure ever so slightly lower than the outside, where the guests' paths are. That might actually be too low. No, I think that works. That way guests are always looking down into the enclosure, and you just get a much better sort of look to the thing. And a lot of zoos will do that. They put the animal lower than yourself so you can look directly down onto them. So there we go. We have the protective sort of ditch. And actually we may have made that too low, actually. Yeah, that's better. This is quite a large enclosure for a couple of Spinosaurus, I have to say. I reckon we could probably get 5 in there, easy. It's not too small. there again, we want to go for something that's a bit more realistic with our animal limits. So good. Right, desert. No lurking for dino. Indeed, there'll be no lurkers here. Right. Desert enclosures need to have a little bit of duned. So what we'll do is we'll create a series of just a couple of low dunes. Smooth them out a bit. There we go. Just a couple of low dunes. And what we'll do is we'll put the water in between each one. There we go. Come on, water brush. There we go. Like such. Spinosaurus is obviously going to love a bit of fish. So we'll make sure we have a couple of fish feeders in that. Now, to hide the fish feeders, we'll go with... We'll put a few rocks around. Not too many. Where's the other one? Here we are. And we'll also chuck in a few... no, that tree's not really big enough. That one is almost too big. I don't get the hitboxes, so the fish don't clip. It's a good point, because the hitbox for the fish feeder is preposterously oversized. And I'm not really clear myself as to why. I honestly think half of it's to do with the position of the dinosaurs when they interact with it. I think because they have to basically be flat on, I think it's to prevent the dinosaurs getting stuck. But even so, if you simply made some better AI, they wouldn't get stuck. I seriously hope that's gone as well. Like, I know they've said it's gone, but this is Frontier. They say a lot of things. So I'm looking forward to when we actually get some proper hardcore game footage. And then we can actually see how much of the truth they are telling. Until that day, I shall remain ever so slightly skeptical. And Frontier themselves only, you know, they're to blame for the skepticism. I know a lot of people are kind of tired of me being so skeptical of them, but I wouldn't be skeptical of them if they had not lied and deceived us about Jurassic World Evolution 1, so I don't really see that I'm the one in the wrong. Anyway. Let's just mark the water sources a bit. There we go. Clipping fixes would also be nice, although the Triceratops seems to be clipping still, as does the Steg a little bit, so I'm not sure how much they've actually done. Again, we're going to have to wait and see. I mean, I certainly hope that they, you know, they pull it off. I want to see this game be absolutely amazing and stunning. I want to, you know, in a few months' time, I want to be able to turn around and make a video where I go, yeah, I was completely 100% wrong. They did an amazing job, and they've convinced me that perhaps, you know, Jurassic World Evolution 1 was a bit of a misstep, and that was all. You know, they've done an amazing job, and I was completely in the wrong, and I shall enjoy everyone telling me I told you so. However, we will see if that happens. I think that's good enough for the Spinosaurus. Just a bit of a light desert oasis sort of affair for him. I have modified... Right, okay, actually, the first question we need to ask ourselves for Spinosaurus, do we want the Jurassic Park hybrid style Spinosaurus, or do we want the realistic style Spinosaurus instead? Because I haven't really used the accurate one much yet. Dino Army says accurate, so we'll go with the accurate one. I have no idea what these skins look like, so I'm just going to pick 3 at random, and we'll see what they look like. We also need to think about where the guest area is going to go, the sort of museum bit. Maybe we could have it along this back road here. Yeah, I think that works. Maybe we can make some sort of, actually... like the idea of making a sort of frill shape pattern with the path. Come on, rain, go away. I need to release the Spinosaurus. Concrete lining or stone lining. I think stone might... Oh! That's a good point, actually. Before we put the Spinosaurus in, let's actually put in the actual fence that's going to keep them in the paddock. That's usually a good idea. Doesn't have to be perfect, since it's going to be invisible anyway. There we go. Right, let's have a look at what these actually look like then. So there's our basic coloration. And let's have a look at the other two. Ooh, I like that one. And our final one. Oh wow. Okay, I think that's my favourite of the three. What pattern is this? Oh, just says accurate pattern D. What's pattern D for Spino? Wetland. No, hang on. Pattern D looks like. No, it's not one of the. It's not based on one of the originals. That looks like that color block is arid, I think.
Confirming task. Confirmed.
And let's get them knocked unconscious. So yeah, I like the idea of us having a sort of frill shape. That's a bit too much. Maybe have no. Nope. This just looks like a hump. It doesn't look much like a frill, does it? I think we need to get the height up a bit. That will kind of do. We'll give it some black stripes down the... When I say black stripes. Dark stripes down the middle. alter the shapes a little bit. So it looks a little less samey. What about if I gave it a grey instead? Oh! This path tool. There you are. That's alright, I think. Does look a bit like a UFO. But, it gets the general idea across. Right, let's transport Spinosaurus 1.
Asset collection request received.
Number 2.
Collecting asset.
And, oh no, that one was number 1. There you go. So,
En route to pick up the asset.
there we go. We'll put in the Spinosaurus skeleton again. So maybe have sort of something.
Asset transportation underway. Asset has been collected.
Like the idea of there being 3 different. So let's have at this end. We'll have the Spinosaurus sort of. In water. And we'll do like a mock feeding, hunting sort of thing going on. We'll have one here with sort of so this one, what we'll do is we'll kind of try to that one's a bit much. What about
Asset delivery confirmed. Asset transported.
something like that one? So it makes it look like it's being freed from the rock.
Asset delivered.
And we'll make it out that this is like them finding it in the desert. And to go with the whole illusion, we'll put in like the amber thing down here, just to kind of make it out that maybe the so there's the Spinosaurus material has come from both the fossils and the amber. And then at the in the middle we'll have just looks like an education board. One of these is now... Is the iguanodontid? No, the iguanodontid is now a... must be the honor. There you go. We'll give it like... have like a couple of education boards. Around it, just claim like that we're giving some details about the creature to the general public. We'll put in some trees for this guy. And same over here. And this guy will give it like a pretend... Give it a pretend fish feeder. So we've got a bit of education going on. We've got like the... you know, them finding it and digging it out of the rocks, and then them recreating it, being like, you know, this is what we've been able to learn, and like that, and then you know, our Spinosaurus being, we know it's a fish feeder now, or primarily a fish eater, and blah 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 blah. So yeah, education is important to every zoo. So I don't see why it wouldn't be for this one. Let's separate this area off with some tree. Actually, I quite like the idea that you know, that's kind of like that wouldn't quite work. Yeah, everyone else has gone quiet. What's up, everyone? Has everyone gotten bored of me already? Or is everyone just too busy listening and doing other stuff in the background? Probably doing other stuff in the background, I would suspect. Do you have 10 people watching currently? Ah, righto, steps. So what sort of park are you building? Put in a couple of rocks. Put in a couple of other colours just to give us a bit of a difference. Nice. Put in a bit of low fencing here. There we go. Just to give us a bit of separation between the two. Can we put down something like a... No, not really. Not really, no. But we can probably put down... like the drinks, drink machine, drink cart maybe? Don't know. For the time, we'll leave that as it is for the moment. I'm doing one on Tacanho, and I'm finally making use of the massive lake in the centre. Made a river cruise, and I'm about to do lagoons for both Mosasaurus and Ophthalmosaurus. Cool. I like how fence being on path is something that makes no sense in Jurassic World universe. Yeah. But it does work to separate off that to our sort of areas off a bit more. We've been going now for 2 hours. That's pretty... We'll do one more exhibit for herbivores. So, herbivore suggestion, and we'll do one more exhibit. So someone give me a suggestion for biome and for dinosaur. Doing alright there, Rexy? How about Kentrosaurus in a savanna? Kentrosaurus in savanna it is. Right, Kentrosaurus can go down here, I think. Oh, good old Hwango. Yeah, I do tend to put Hwangosaurus in like any park I make, so Kentros will probably go in this one. I will continue with this park. Probably on the Discord actually. I wish it was a little easier to put. Come on. All I wanted was a little bit of terrain height difference. God. Right, so Savannah. Start with shale. Yes, we really can tell the water tool was not made for that sort of thing, rivers and such. Right, so we have the shale as the base layer, and we put over the top a little bit of sand. We do a few spots where the sand is a little clearer. There we go. Make the water a bit lighter. Right. Some light rocky patches, just for a bit of scrub. Tree of Life, I think, will be our first one in this savannah-style enclosure. That looks good. And tree number 2, tree 2 is actually a reasonably good approximation for a desert-style tree. You get trees of that sort of style in there. As does, if you have this really tall, flat-topped monkey puzzle, that also is quite a good desert savanna approximation tree, so that works. Do a couple of big bushes. Not too many though. And we'll put one down here. Right, in terms of nature brush. That's me. In terms of nature brush, go with the crag again. So we want the dry purple bush sort of affair. To the occasional patch, especially down near the water. There we go. This is the Kentrosaurus that will be going in there. I haven't changed the Kentrosaurus, so French Toast, what sort of skins would you want, like? I think we'll put a feeder under the trees. I'm the worst person to ask about skins. Well, at least you're honest about that. If you go onto the wiki, you can have a look at the skin options. They're under cosmetics, and you can actually have a look. Just put a... yeah, that'll do. Actually, no, I don't like that palm there. Let me delete the palm tree. No, let me delete the palm. Thank you. I bloody hope they get the deletion tool working better in number 2. God. What else works for a savannah? Oh, the occasional, like, head of a creature that's died in the hot temperatures, maybe. That's very African grassland sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, dead skeleton just in the brush there. Stick in a couple of trees. Steppe or wetland. Okay. Wetland or steppe? Well, we'll go with a couple of steppe and a couple of wetlands. Because they're not particularly big stegosaurs. Steppe coastal and alpine, says French Toast. Damn. Okay, we'll throw in an alpine as well. There's our copy-pasted animation again.
We are pleased to welcome a Kentrosaurus to the park.
So yeah, the wetland one does suit actually. Yeah.
We are pleased to welcome a Kentrosaurus to the park.
I am looking forward to being able to release more than one dinosaur at a time.
We are pleased to welcome a Kentrosaurus to the park.
They have longer necks. They do have quite long necks, don't they?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Kentrosaurus
Are
to the park.
are they getting into their preset places to start socializing? I think that's what's... Yes, these two yes, they're both socializing. I'm not looking. I don't want it to fail. Like I said, I want it to do really well.
Understood.
I'm just not sure
Confirming task. Adding task.
that it's going to
Task
be
received.
quite the massive upgrade that everyone thinks. We will have to wait and see what happens. That's all we can do, really. Toast and bacon seem happy. Our Spinos seem to be alright. I do really like how this one in particular has turned out. I really like that. How's our lighthouse coastal going on? We're looking alright. Yeah. Volumetric rain. Look at that. The Rangers managed to knock all of them out in barely any time at all. I bet if you had watched them do it, they would have taken a lot longer. It really is strange how bad the AI is for the Rangers.
Acknowledging asset collection request. Heading to pick up the asset. Asset being transported. En route to collect the asset.
There we go. They'll be dropping into the Savannah exhibit.
Assets in the air. Asset in transit.
What should we do down here? Suppose it makes sense to have a. Since we've got a Spinosaurus on that side, we'll have a
Location in progress.
have another one over here. Let's give this one a bit more of a. Oh, that one is in was in a terrible spot. Chuck one in there. Is it gonna? Okay, so it just makes it look like it's bursting out of
Asset has been delivered.
a cave or something at the guests.
Transported. Asset delivered.
Yeah, nice. Like it.
Asset transported.
I have a few of the deadly thorn plants about. I barely ever use them because I don't really like them that much. I'd have preferred another type of low bush, I think, to them.
Ground crew, stand by for helicopter arrival. Ground crew, stand by for helicopter arrival.
Use a little bit. There we go. Chuck a couple of lights in here. I reckon that's going to look really good. Right, let's get the chemtrails should be in. Nice, nice mix of coloration, and they do all suit the Savannah environment. So yeah, I'm actually curious to see what sandbox settings, nighttime. Oh, look at that. I like it. I think maybe we could do with like one more. Like, maybe. You hiding in the back there. That's better. Even the guests are impressed. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks really cool. I don't think we have any other. We didn't do any other special lighting anywhere else, did we? No. But no, yeah, that looks good. I think that's definitely a screenshot worthy design decoration there. Nice. And let's actually let's grab some shots of the other little bits we've been working on today. Q returning, dinosaur flesh returning, and it going and killing everyone. I like it. So we have our little Spino being dug up. Spinosaurus information plaque. And then Spinosaurus eating plaque. What else do we have decoration wise? We obviously have our entranceway there, our sort of fountain sort of arrangement. We have our large restaurant and bar. We have our savannah style enclosure there. Our Carnotaurus. Ooh, we're actually making use of the shade. I'm just gonna sit here. I like this as a way of just take a picture of that, just to show it off to people. Yeah, got a little viewing tower area there. And where's our Spinosaurus? There they are. Spinosaurus Desert. And the last thing we need to grab a photo of is that the Carno is looking at the wall thinking about its life choices. Quite possibly, actually. Or its new life choices, I suppose. And we've got our little coastal sign here with its little lamp and poston. Lighthouse even. Or beacon, as we're calling it, we're going for. Yeah. Looking good. Well, everyone, been going for nearly 2 hours now, so I think I'm going to stop it here. I want to thank people for joining in and giving me suggestions, and obviously liking the stream and everything, because it really helps get us more on the algorithm. And obviously all the views helps as well, so please do, if you haven't watched all of our content already, please do give them a view. Part 4 of the review will be out next week, as will another Gungeon video be out next week. And Vice is due to start a retro game from his past on the channel as well. So that should be quite fun to see what that's going to be like. I will continue with this park. I'll continue it in streams elsewhere. So do keep popping in to see how we get along. But yeah, for now, I want to thank everyone for joining in. Goodbye, Sunlight, French Toast, Luke, Dino Army was here as well, Stabster was here too. Yeah, thank you everyone, and I'll see you soon. Have a good night.